Good afternoon and welcome to our third and final news conference on Hurricane Helene. We know parts of Florida are truly hurting today. Here to give an update on how Orange County fared is Orange County Mayor Jerry L. Demings.
All right, thank you, Jane. Thank you to all of you for once again joining us. As we come to today, this will be our final briefing regarding Hurricane Helene. The circumstances at this time indicate that there have been no major damage and there have been no reported deaths at this time in Orange County related to this storm. That's relatively good news, I think, for our community. In Orange County, we had sustained peak winds at 47 miles per hour, and when we look back over the period of time that the storm was impacting us, around 10 a.m., between 9:30 actually and about 10 a.m. last night, or 10 p.m. last night, were the critical times. That hour period of time, we saw increased calls into our Emergency Operations Center. Most of those calls were related to trees and wires down. Our Orange County Fire Rescue Department responded out, and even this morning, as daybreak came, they went out and did their windshield surveys and saw really minimal damage throughout the county. What they did observe were a number of trees down throughout the county, and there was no major structural damage that we saw at that time. In terms of our shelters, we fared relatively well there. The 3 shelters that we opened closed at 10 a.m. this morning. Our shelters at the West Orange Recreation Center and at the Goldenrod Center serviced approximately 15 persons with special needs. We felt that we should open those shelters because those individuals were calling for special assistance, and even though the numbers were low, we wanted to make certain that we took care of all of those who had a specific need within our community. Our general shelters, however, at Barnett Park, we saw over 160 persons who were in the shelter. 101 of those individuals indicated that they were homeless, so they needed a place to go to get out of the weather. Also, Orange County government resumed normal operations today, along with the 9th Judicial Circuit, the courts, and all of the constitutional offices here within Orange County were back open today for full business. Links returned to its normal operations, and just to provide a recap on everything that has happened in these last few days, you may recall that we opened 6 different sandbag locations within our county on Tuesday and Wednesday. We distributed some 32,000+ sandbags over that 2-day period of time, and that equated to approximately 3,200 different households. The busiest location for sandbags was our newest location at Barnett Park, and at Barnett Park alone, we distributed some 11,500 sandbags. In terms of our county-wide focus, we pre-storm wanted to make certain that where we could avoid the potential for any flooding, that we would take appropriate precautions. And we went out and we lowered the lake levels and various other water body levels throughout the county. That means that our pre-storm planning was sufficient because we really did not see any flooding whatsoever. Now, we do realize that we had low rainfall during this weather phenomena, and we were blessed in that way, but we certainly saw a number of trees that came down. That means that we realize that the yard waste pickup is going to step it up a bit within our community, and we're asking our residents to remember that for yard waste pickup, you're limited to 3 cubic yards or no more than 60 pounds of yard debris when you put it out. You may have to therefore put it out if you have more than that over a series of days for us to pick it up. But we will be returning to our normal garbage pickup and trash pickup periods of time. Our landfill has reopened to its normal hours. Customers who did not receive their garbage or recycling or yard waste pickup yesterday, remember that tomorrow, Saturday, we will pick up those items. So we ask that you follow your customary procedures within your neighborhoods to put the trash out tomorrow if you missed it on Thursday in unincorporated Orange County. Unincorporated Orange County is what we're talking about. To help our fellow Floridians who are suffering the effects of the storm, who did not fare as well as we did, our utilities department has sent a field service crew of approximately 14 of our staff members up to North Florida to assist those in that area. The crews include electricians, mechanics, technicians, and along with, we sent some generators with them to assist with those impacted areas. They will primarily be in the Tallahassee and North Florida area. In addition, we have deployed 25 personnel from our fire department who will be assisting with search and rescue efforts in the North Florida area. Our utilities and electric companies cannot be here today, but they did ask me to share some information with you regarding the Orlando Utilities Commission service territory. They reported that at the height of the storm over time, they had a total of 22,300 plus customers who lost power. So we did have some impact in our community in terms of power outages. In addition, as of 1 p.m., electric service, however, had been restored to the majority of those customers. OUC encourages its customers to exercise caution as they do venture out. They told me to remind our community that down power lines and other electrical equipment can be hidden in debris and standing water. Duke Energy said at the height of the storm, they had over 12,500 customers who experienced outages in Orange County, with the highest area of impact being in the west side of Orange County. Duke Energy crews are working to restore the service, and most of the service at this point has been restored here within Orange County. So that's the overall recap that we have from Orange County regarding our response. I do have Mr. Scott Howard here, Howard from the Orange County Public Schools. He'll give you an update on the schools. I also have our Public Safety Director, Danny Banks, who's here if there are any questions, and if there's any Spanish-speaking media who's here. I have one of my special assistants, Ms. Martha Lee Irizarry, who can respond in Spanish if the need arises. We also have Commissioner Gomez Cordero, who has joined us. Commissioner, you can come on up with us. She is fluent in Spanish as well, so if you have any difficult questions, we will defer all of them to Commissioner Gomez Cordero. So with that, Scott Howard.
Thank you, Mayor Demings, and we appreciate it. Good afternoon. I'm Scott Howard. I'm the Chief Communications Officer for Orange County Public Schools, and on behalf of our Superintendent, Maria Vasquez, we want to thank all of our employees, families, communities for being so supportive and patient as we work through the reopening of our schools today. I do want to provide a brief update on our schools and what had happened as a result of some of the impacts. They were limited countywide. Of our 213 traditional schools, 13 experienced power outages overnight. I'd like to thank Duke Energy and OUC for responding very quickly to those issues that arose. 8 of those schools were able to be restored by the time school began, and the 5 that were still out were back up by noon. We did make accommodations for those students and staff to address their needs, including providing water and Gatorade until they were able to restore power and AC at those sites. As we work through the issues with our facilities overnight and into the morning, please know that our students, our teachers, our staff, and administrators are always our top priority. We appreciate our administrators, teachers, staff for working to get our students back to school today. And just wanted to say as a reminder that all extracurricular and after-school activities will resume as normal today unless the school has decided for whatever reason to cancel or to reschedule those. I do want to say that our hearts are going out to the children of those in the Big Bend region that are impacted, and as well as the schools that support those children, along with the teachers and administrators. And we will keep them in our thoughts as they deal with some of the impacts, the greater impacts of that storm. I want to thank you, Mayor, for giving us the opportunity, and now I'll turn it back over to you.
Okay. Yes, while our community fared very well, I agree with Mr. Howard that we certainly, our thoughts and prayers are with those who are in the North Florida area for what they are having to deal with, and even over on the West Coast from the Tampa Bay area north on the west side of the state. They certainly had some difficult challenges, some flooding and other things that fortunately we did not have to experience. But we do stand with them, and because of that, we have deployed some resources into those areas to provide assistance. Now I will open it up for any questions that you may have at this time. The question is what area that we see many of the down trees. It was really throughout the county, but more specifically, most of what we saw was in the western area of the county because, of course, the west side of the state, the western portion of the county was took more of, I think, the high wind estimates. The area where we actually saw the highest sustained winds was at the Orlando International Airport. For whatever reason, it seems like it's always at the airport. We saw sustained winds of up to 47 miles per hour. We saw wind gusts. I think the highest wind gust we saw was in the western area at about 67 miles per hour. Okay. Other questions?
Yes, hi. The traffic light came down in the Washington Street and Magnolia Avenue. Do you know if that was fixed, if that was part of the winds effect?
I'm aware of it. That was in the city of Orlando, and they had reported out that crews had responded, and they believe that they were going to have that repaired today. So it may very well already be repaired. I'm not certain.
Also in Apopka, there was a house that had the roof completely came off. Specifically, it was just one house in the Clark Street in Apopka. I don't know if he was referring to that to possibly be like a microburst term. Do you know something about that house particularly? Thank you.
I am not aware of that specific report, and nor am I aware of a verified microburst that happened, but sometimes it takes time based on the reports that come in before all of that is really reconciled with what actually happened within our community. So, we're continuing to gather information from all of the municipalities and the areas throughout the county. So there will be a final report that will be issued. Our Office of Emergency Management is continuing to kind of monitor things, and as the day goes on, we'll update our final reports. Okay.
Mayor, how is the outcome for Orlo Vista community, and how the works are doing so far regarding that?
Okay, so the question is, how did things fare in the Orlo Vista area? Very well. We did not have any significant issues in Orlo Vista. And again, I have to say, countywide, we prepared for all of those areas that we believe was going to be disproportionately susceptible to flooding. We were fortunate. The rainfall in Orange County was not what it had projected to be. It still was relatively low. There were some areas that got more rain than others, but all of it was within the capacity of our stormwater systems to handle. Okay. With that, thank you all. Oh, one more. Okay. Okay. We do have one other question. All right.
Can you hear me? Okay. A lot of money was spent on that mitigation project in Orla Vista. Are you disappointed at all that you didn't get to see it tested and see what it could do?
No, I'm not disappointed in the least bit because we didn't experience a major storm, a Category 3 or 4 storm. And the mitigation efforts in the Orla Vista area is about really that level that we were trying to build capacity for. Essentially what we experienced was nothing more than a typical summer type of storm system that we would see. We build our stormwater systems to be able to manage that on a day-to-day basis. Where we need the extra capacity is because this is Florida, and we know that we're going to continue to see these weather phenomena, hurricanes, tornadoes, and the like, and significant rainfall. That is what we are planning for. The worst case type of a scenario, and even with planning for what we believe will be the worst case scenario when we look at our various floodplains, sometimes that could be inadequate. But that was not the case for this storm, and that is the good news that we have shared, obviously, throughout our community. We are still in hurricane season. We still have to get through November. So the potential that there could be other storms that will impact us still remains. In fact, the National Weather Service is telling us that they are monitoring 3 additional potential storms that's out there. So let's just hope and pray that they don't come to our areas and that they dissipate, but that is still a possibility for us. Okay. All right. Thank you all very much for being here. We we got a big football game in town this weekend. The University of Central Florida is playing Colorado. So we're here to say go Knights. All right.